Welcome back to our channel. In this episode, we will be showing you some of the most interesting and strange images that have been captured by trail cameras. From elusive wild animals to mysterious and unexplained sightings, these cameras have captured all big cats, bears, deer, and even strange identified creatures. You never know what you might find when you check your trail camera footage. So sit back and let's take a look at some most disturbing trail cam captures what no one expected. Massive black panther. In this clip, a Mississippi man was left perplexed after spotting what appears to be a massive black cat walking through a field, and even experts can't agree with what he saw. The strange encounter occurred as David Slider was pulling into a wind ear in the city of Hernando. David noticed something slinking off in the distance after initially thinking that he was watching a deer or a coyote because of its size. He then realized that the creature was actually some type of cat. David, who was over 100 yards away from the animal, took out his phone and started filming. As he looked more intently in from his tail, he could definitely tell it was a cat. I mean, look at that tail. That thing is massive. He swears it wasn't an overgrown house cat, as some people have said, and authorities agree with him. An expert with the Mississippi Department of Wildlife quickly dismissed the mystery feline as a house cat, claiming the pointed shape of the creature's ears confirmed that conclusion. However, the city and county animal control wasn't excited about the Department of Wildlife claiming that the creature is a much more dangerous mountain lion. Nevertheless, everyone is currently on the lookout for the big cat. Bobcat versus coyote. This next clip shows a few photos from a trail camera, and man captured a rare and intense standoff between a coyote and a bobcat on his trail cam. The footage shows the two animals facing off, with the coyote appearing to be on the defensive as the bobcat advances. Despite their similarities in size, the bobcat wins the standoff and the coyote eventually retreats. While bobcats and coyotes rarely fight, each knows the other is a formidable foe. This kind of confrontation is not unusual among wild animals, as they are often competing for the same resources, such as food and territory. It's interesting to see the dynamic between the two species, and it's a reminder that not everything has to come to blows. Bobcats and coyotes rarely fight because each knows the other is a formidable foe. And honestly, it's not worth the hassle of getting injured. There's much easier prey out there and plenty of it. Anyhow, the man who captures this footage is lucky and seems to have some pretty cool animals on his property. Sleepy deer. This next trail cam capture comes from Brian Salmons. At first glance, he thought he had a deer die right in front of his camera. However, the photo actually shows deer visiting and sleeping in the same spot nearly every night. Salmon says the deer, a young buck, calmly walks up to the spot every few nights and just lies down. It's unusual behavior, as deer are known to be skittish, and they avoid sleeping in the same place for multiple consecutive nights. He agrees with how interesting it is to see this. He agrees it's really cool to see this and thinks that may have something to do with this particular location being safe or the deer just feeling really comfortable. Experts say it could indicate the areas of migration or feeding location. I'd be interested to know what the experienced outdoorsman thinks about this. Nevertheless, it's always fascinating to see wild animals in their natural habitats. As an add-on to the last photo, this next one is a cool one too. A man placed the camera in a dilapidated pole barn on the back of his property. He noticed a family of deer would come and bed down in there, and as you can see, this one seems to have noticed the camera, while the other one seems to have taken a liking to the protection of the old truck. On another note, let me know in the comments if you can spot the third deer in this picture. I suspect some will find it easily, but some not so much. Unicorn elk. A trail camera set up in the woods of Colorado captured a mysterious unicorn-like creatures wandering through the forest. The animal, with a single horn protruding from its forehead, has caused a great deal of speculation and excitement among local residents, and even some wildlife experts. As we've all been taught, the existence of unicorns is purely fictional. They're mythical creatures, and it's impossible for a real animal to have a single horn protruding from its forehead. Well, this seems like a real animal, and that's really a horn. In all honesty, it looks like a perfectly healthy elk with some type of mutation that makes the horn growing from its head. Some people are claiming that this is photographic trickery, and that an animal like that doesn't exist. I beg to differ, and I think it's a really cool camera capture. Let me know what you guys think about this. Has anyone seen anything like this? Brazilian puma. This video capture around midnight shows farm goats in Brazil corralled into a pen and relaxing during the cooler evening. However, suddenly they catch wind of something and realize they aren't alone. As the stragglers retreat to the comfort of the herd, it's kind of eerie to see all of their eyes looking in the same direction, out of the pen, trying to see what they're sensing. Well, it doesn't take long to see what they're worried about as a puma enters the camera and is now in the pen. I am curious as to why the cat paused there for a moment. Maybe he heard a person or something. Anyhow, the puma corners them and takes his pick. Quicker than he enters, he's out of there. It leaves a golden mouth such power. It's only a few seconds longer, but some viewers might not like it. Before we move on, support us by hitting subscribe and the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. Now let's get back to our topic. Misplaced antler. Speaking of antlers in the wrong places, a deer caught on a trail camera has been captured with an antler stuck in its neck. The footage shows the deer moving around with the antler protruding from its neck, seemingly unbothered by it. This type of phenomenon is called cross-browsing, where bucks during rut engage in intense fights and one of them can get their antlers stuck in another's flesh. While it may look painful, these types of injuries are usually not life-threatening, and the deer will typically be able to remove the antler on its own. But of course, in some cases, the protrusion may cause significant damage to the animal to its vision mobility, making it more vulnerable to predators or disease. It's always amazing to see the way these animals have the capability to adapt and heal. Vampire deer. In this clip, you can see vampire deer. This little guy was picked up by a field camera. This is the Chinese water deer, a small herbivore mammal native to China and Korea. These smaller deer typically weigh between 33 and 65 pounds and stand around 2 to 3 feet tall at the shoulder. Obviously, they are known for their large tusks-like teeth, which both males and females have. These vampire deer live in wetlands and grasslands near water sources such as rivers and lakes. They're most active during the early morning and late afternoon and are known to be solitary creatures outside the breeding season. They're also a protected species in China and Korea, and hunting them is illegal. Besides the fact that it looks menacing, it is unclear as to why evolution chose fangs over antlers for this deer. One expert suggests that all deer had both fangs and antlers at one point, and over time the larger deer kept the headgear and the smaller deer did away with them in favor of the teeth. Nonetheless, an awesome specimen. Viewer submission. This next clip is a viewer submission from Ronnie Yao, and it shows a picture that I've only seen in my nightmares. He explains that one of his trail cameras, set up in the woods of Vermont, captured a mysterious wolf-like creature wandering through the forest. The creature, which some are saying is just a gray wolf with mange, was captured on camera in the early hours of the morning and has caused a great deal of speculation and excitement among local residents and wildlife experts. One of the first things that stands out about the creature in the photo is its size. Wolves are typically around 4 to 5 feet long and can weigh up to 150 pounds. But the animal in the photo appears to be significantly larger, more heavily built than a typical wolf. He also has thick, shaggy fur and a broad snout. Some experts have suggested that it could be a rare, undiscovered subspecies of wolf. Another intriguing aspect of the creature is its coloration. Gray wolves are typically a mix of gray, black, and white, but this animal appears to be entirely brown, which would make it quite unusual. Dancing deer. This next trail camera caught a deer dancing man. I don't think so. At first glance, I thought the deer might have walked into a nest of fire ants. But on second thought, she could also be engaged in a behavior called starting or promoting. Starting is when a deer is startled or frightened. They jump into the air, kicking its legs out, before landing on all fours and running away. This behavior is seen in various species. They use this behavior as a means of communication and to signal their fitness and alertness to potential predators. It can also be used to assess the predator. Assess whether he or she is able to chase the prompting animal or not. Belk. It's very interesting. Recently, a photograph of an unusual creature has been circulating on social media and causing quite a stir among wildlife experts and enthusiasts. This photograph, which was reportedly taken in the forest of Montana, appears to show a bear-elk hybrid, a creature that has never been seen or documented before. The animal in the photograph is clearly a bear, but it has a set of large antlers, similar to those of an owl, growing from its head. The antlers appear to be fully grown and well-formed, which has led some experts to believe that the animal is not a genetic mutation or a hoax, but an actual hybrid of a bear and an elk. Now, the idea of a bear-elk hybrid seems highly unlikely. Bears and elk are from different families, and hybridization is rare in animals with distinct genetic makeup. And there is no scientific proof that such crossbreeding is possible in nature. So is this a hoax, or are we going to call it a belk? So that's it. Please like, share, and comment your thoughts below if you like this video. Remember to subscribe to see our next video. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.